Ready.
Hello, this is Inside the Press Box with Sunil Sunder Raj with Everyday Fan Sports. I'm happy to be speaking today with Ellyn Stoll, NJIT Highlanders women's basketball graduate guard. Ellyn, thank you so much for taking some time out to speak with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I know last time we talked, you thought it would probably be one of the last times that we talked. So
Exactly. I was very sad. I'm like, and I know for you, that was an emotional post-game press conference with head coach Mike Lane. I think I'll start right there. What was going through your mind, just knowing, walking off the court, it's a post-game, how you felt in the locker room, with your teammates, with the coaching staff, especially head coach Mike Lane. I had to ask you about that, Ellyn.
Yeah, definitely. As that final buzzer went off, I was like walking to the bench and I was like, wow, I had like a golf ball in my throat. I was very, very emotional. And then going down to the locker room, it was just me and Coach Lane after the interview. And he kind of tapped me on the shoulder and I was like, you can't do that right now. I can't walk into this locker room. I'm about to bawl my eyes out. I really thought it was going to be, my last time on the court. And I know everybody says these 4 years fly by. And they did not lie about that. So I'm really, really happy to have the opportunity to be here again for another year because not only was I feeling emotional, I was definitely feeling a little satisfied after that game, as was the rest of the staff and my teammates. So
yeah. Okay, Ellyn, walk me through, I said from that time on until now, just how the ball got rolling, that, you were coming back, said here for another season, which is, knowing with this group now, an experienced group. I mean, I think 8 upperclassmen, and then you throw in 2 freshmen here. I mean, a team that is not only built for now, but, for years to come.
Yeah, it's definitely been from the time I decided to come back. It was funny. I was actually in Austin, Texas, celebrating my nephew's first birthday, and I was getting texts from our group chat, and they were like, "Hey, do you guys want to go to dinner? Do you guys want to go here?" And I was like, I can't miss this stuff for another year. I was like, I'm gonna be way too jealous of these girls. I was like, these are my girls. We have such a great group here. Big roster this year was 17.
Yeah.
And great new additions with Reese and Trinity. Such hardworking, great individuals. I mean, they've seriously have been just so great learning the offense, learning our defensive principles. It seems a little bit intimidating being 2 out of 17 who have already been through, the process of learning all this new stuff as freshmen do coming in. But they've been doing a tremendous job in practice and lift, and really being able to be sponges and take in all this new information. And I know you've talked with Kenna and Lizzie. I mean, from top to bottom, everybody's been making such huge strides this preseason. And like I said, not the best ending that we wanted. So obviously there's a lot of motivation in the gym after that. So
that's true. Something popped into my head, that send off at the WEC, it said, I believe I don't know, a video tribute, and then they presented you with flowers. And it was such a, to see the picture that was like, I mean, one of the best moments, definitely one of the season. But what was that? I mean, knowing, they said that moment, and then when you step back onto campus, just, I don't know, I said over the summer or recently, just what all those emotions going through you, just let everyone know about that, Ellyn.
Yeah, I had no idea that was happening. I mean, I was so oblivious. I feel like we've talked about this maybe a little bit before, but Steph and Lamar came in, like our marketing crew. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like they're going to take pictures of us getting ready for the tournament, all this fun stuff. So I was clueless. I had no idea. And we were doing some kind of ball screen coverage, and I had switched onto a post, and I got elbowed like right in the mouth. And I was like, everyone's like, don't let her go near the training room. That's where all the stuff is. Like, I had no clue. I was like, why are they not letting me go to the training room? Like, this is so weird. So seeing that and hearing Coach Lane say, like, this is my senior day, and seeing my family up there, my teammates, Kelly Garino, my past teammate, that was a lot. That was a lot of emotions. I was still deciding at that time whether or not I was coming back or not. So that also was a big deciding factor in returning. I mean, to have all of these people surrounding me with so much love and so much support, I was like, how could I not come back for another year? Yeah, that was definitely a deciding factor in my return.
When you look back on the 2020-21 season, very successful. I mean, the fact, I mean, yes, the team was under 500, said overall in the conference, but the fact that you guys were able to play in the America East Conference tournament and become again the first, NJIT athletic program to win an America East Conference game. I mean, that was huge, in New Hampshire. Just a outstanding moment for this, basketball program. Can you talk about that and just knowing the players that contributed, to this? I mean, not only yourself, scoring 9.4 points per game and 81% free throw shooting. But you look at Kenneth Squire, they said led the team in scoring, and then Lizzie Litwinko. I mean, said, I mean, you talk about a phenomenal freshman, breakout year. I mean, said named to the all rookie team in the America East, and then rookie of the week, 5 times.
Mhm.
I mean, just quite a journey, and the fact that you guys had to cope with, and deal with this COVID-19 pandemic.
Right. Yeah, it was definitely a challenging but fulfilling year, I think, for us as a team and individually. Like you said, it was a crazy year. Didn't get to play everybody in the league. Going into a new league in the midst of a pandemic also
Mhm.
isn't the most ideal thing, but we definitely overcame a lot of adversity this past year, which honestly has helped us in our connectivity a lot. And having 6 freshmen come in last year, that was
Yeah,
also another factor. And having to, like I said before, with Trinity and Reese, learn our offensive and defensive principles, um, while getting tested 3 times a week,
mhm.
wearing these masks, like all these restrictions.
I know.
um, so that was definitely, I think, a reason why we are how we are as a team right now.
Mhm.
Like I said, super connected, super together. To go through something like that, nobody would ever think as a basketball. Looking back, I'm like, yeah, you're 4 years in college. You'd never think, oh yeah, like I went through a pandemic, or like that's not something that you usually.
It's
They
true.
say like, oh yeah, you'll be able to tell your grandkids about their championships, and I mean this is gonna be a big part of what we remember.
Yeah,
Um,
no, it's true.
but going into that first game at UNH, I think we all were super excited, super determined, through that adversity, getting through the first part of the season, to be the one of the teams that are still playing. I mean, I know a lot of people had their seasons cut
Yeah.
short or even just completely taken away from them. So to be able to get that first America East win was definitely something that we're going to remember, and that we definitely hold close to our hearts, because that
Yeah.
was a great game.
It was. You guys did a tremendous job staying healthy. I mean, the fact that it was on the other side, and talking to head coach Mike Lane, that there were other teams that were hit by, of course, COVID, but you guys, stayed healthy. You followed the protocols, which was just, again, a testament to, said you guys being resilient and just, following, said the guidelines, and that was fantastic. And I have to say that. I almost lost my train of thought here. I know that was going to happen, but um, just talking about the supporting cast that's coming back, because now a year of experience under their belt. I mean, we talk about, Grace Palmer, Maddie Martin, Lindsay Syrick, Kennedy, Cash, Arian Myers, Kiana Bretton, Kimmy Evans, Kendall Dalrymple, Lily Anderson, Danny Evans. I mean, all these players, and they had some great moments during the season in terms of scoring. So I'm sure now, as you alluded to, bringing in, Trinity and Reese. I mean, this team, the depth is there, and then just the talent as well. Ellen, can you talk about that?
Yeah, for sure. It's funny. I mentioned Kelly Garino before. She came to one of our practices this past Saturday, and I was able to play with her my first 2 years here. And she pulled me to the side, and she was like, "I can't. I mean, this team is so versatile. Like there are so many talented and skilled people on this team." She
Yeah.
was like, it's crazy to see the growth from when she was here just a few years ago to
Mhm.
now. She like went through the whole roster. She was like, I mean, this post can dribble, this post can shoot. I mean,
Yeah.
it's something that is visible, it's tangible in the gym. Like you can see how versatile, how skilled, and just how talented everybody is from 1 to 17 on this roster.
Yeah.
Um, and having Maddie back is really great. I'm excited to play with her
Yeah.
again. I don't even know the last time that we played together, honestly. But being able to play with her again in
Yeah.
our 5th years has been so much fun, and it's something that we've both looked forward to for
Yeah.
throughout her recovery. So
That's great. Yeah, that's what I was asking Lizzie, is that the fact that no, he's scoring, rebounding, assists, doing whatever it takes to diving for loose balls. I mean, this, just that grit, that determination is something that I think is truly symbolic with this team, Ellen.
for sure, Lizzie's a great example of that. I mean, we've talked about that before too.
Yeah.
She's all over the court.
Yeah.
She's here. She's from point A to point B in like 2 seconds. You can't even see her when she's on you. But yeah, definitely. There's a lot of grit, a lot of hustle and toughness on our team, and that is goes into our motto too: tougher, smarter, together. Those are the kind of players that Coach Lane has been trying to recruit since he got here my sophomore year, and it shows to the
Yeah.
even the alumni that's where we have made strides toward those 3 characteristics that we look for in
Yeah.
recruits. So.
We talked before we came on the air is that about the WEC, the Wellness and Events Center, that the fans back, students, alumni. I mean, it's good, family. I mean, that really, and talking to, of course, Lizzie and Kenna, I mean, to have family back is going to
Yeah.
be so important. I mean, last year it was from a distance. Now, watching on a computer, but now up close and personal, supporting you guys. That is going to really be a difference maker, this season for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, even going back, Lizzie and that whole class, they haven't been able to experience fans. All they hear is the fake fans that they play over the
And the cardboard cutouts.
yeah, the cardboard cutouts.
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, I'm excited to get back to that. But I
Yeah.
mean, for the underclassmen, I can't even imagine their excitement to
Yeah.
actually have people in the stands that aren't made of cardboard, like you said. And to have family back for my last year, I'm really excited. That was another thing that I thought of. Like my mom was like, I didn't even get to see you in your last
Yeah.
year. Like
Yeah.
this is so crazy. I mean, she's already booked her tickets to Wisconsin. I can't even tell you how long ago she did that. I'm not in a single game. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's exciting to have the WEC open back up. A lot of athletes have even said to me they're so excited to see the basketball games again.
Yeah.
So just have the community back in the gym, the family back in the gym, and just get that atmosphere back. I mean, it's so different, and
Yeah.
the underclassmen are definitely going to see that who haven't experienced that yet. It makes it just so much better.
Oh yeah, I mean, when they announced the starting lineups and the pregame, and then you got the lights going, and then the video scoreboard, it's
Right.
just a whole entire different vibe and electricity that the WEC, and I said to you, the WEC, with the bright lights, it's just again, just a great environment, just one of the best thing, I believe in college basketball, especially in this part of the country in the Northeast. Let's talk about the America East, because Stony Brook ended up by, I think, winning the America East conference tournament, and this schedule is very difficult. I mean, it said especially the out of conference schedule before you even get into the conference. It said games at the end of December, at Marquette, at Wisconsin. You're playing the Big East, Big Ten, MAC, Patriot League. So I'm sure for you guys, getting off to a good start is really important here early on, Ellen.
For sure. We came in at the end of August. We were able to get, obviously we were one of the teams that weren't able to have the summer session due to, the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
So we were able to get in here for the last 2 weeks of August and start working. And like I said before, our preseason has been really, really productive. It's definitely very different having to teach two new players, our principals, rather than 6 we've had to do the past 2 years. So
Yeah.
that has made things a little bit easier. and we've just been working super hard. Like you said, we know our schedule. We've known our schedule pretty much since the summer. So we've definitely been using that to motivate us and to know like this is our year. We need to get better. Um, and we're really excited to go to Wisconsin. Lizzie in that class, like I said before, they haven't really experienced
Yeah.
those trips that we get to make. I mean, me, myself, Sam, and Maddie were used to being on a plane every other week, being in the ASUN, but
Yeah.
it'll be really exciting to go to Wisconsin. And like I talked about before, the things that you remember the most, definitely traveling like with your teammates.
Yeah.
So definitely excited to get some wins, but also to travel with the team and make memories and things like that.
Yeah, it's good, team bonding, building up that chemistry and that cohesiveness, throughout a season is so important because you guys are together, for several months here. So it's, I'm sure it definitely helps out, and then of course, when you're, hitting the books, I want to transition, of course, to this coaching staff led by head coach Mike Lane, but don't want to forget about Latonya Watson, Aaron Gratch, and of course Sarah Mitchell.
Mhm.
Just again, just an outstanding staff. Can you just talk about what they've meant to you? I said here past 4 years now, entering what a fifth year here. I said at NJIT, Ellen.
Yeah, I mean, they mean so much to me. From Coach Lane to Anissa, I
Yeah,
mean, they're just such great people. Having them come in my sophomore year, going into college, you never think that the whole staff is going to be,
hmm,
replaced. So I still remember the first day when a couple of us were interviewing Coach Lane. And from that moment till now, I mean, there's just been so much growth in our relationship and my relationship with the other coaches.
yeah,
And I definitely would not be the player I am without them
yeah.
and all of their dedication to me and to this program. So I actually had an individual meeting with Coach Lane yesterday, and we were talking about he loves to refer to sophomore Ellen, who was just never in help. And it's just funny to look back on those memories and see how far we've come. Myself, how far I've come as a player, but also our team as a whole. So
Yeah.
um, the staff is super, super dedicated, super um, great people, and yeah, they're like second family. So yeah, they
That's
mean.
wonderful. I'm wondering, heading into the season, said you talked to Coach Lane. What's the message here? Is there just a model that you guys are going to be following? Said this season. I'm just curious about that, Ellen.
I mean, this as we take every season, like we were always focusing on being all in,
Yeah,
especially like I said with 17 players, we
yeah,
really need to stick to our smarter, tougher together. Those three components that we believe will make us the best team that we can be, and really just instilling those three characteristics into our everyday
yeah.
practice, lift, film, just whatever we're doing together as a team.
It's great. I don't want to forget about some of the other members of the staff here as well. Sandra Taylor, Director of Learning Center, Strength and Conditioning Coach Bobby Fisk, Stephanie Pilari, Assistant Athletics Director for Media Relations and Digital Strategy. Of course, the Athletic Director, Lenny Kaplan, Peg Heffern, Assistant Director of Athletics for Administration and Student Athlete Services, and of course, President Dr. Joel Bloom. I mean, when you talk about, again, I've talked with Lizzie and Kenna, but I mean, just talk about a solid, foundation for administration athletics. I mean, I don't think it's any better, than NJIT.
Yeah, we definitely have a very, very strong foundation, and that's definitely a selling point that we discuss with the recruits. I mean, I remember my weekly meetings with Sandra as a freshman, and how those impacted me. I still remember those meetings, her taking time to make sure, I was doing what I was supposed to do. I was transitioning into college life. Um, and Coach Fisk, I mean, he works extremely hard to make sure we're in the best shape possible.
Mhm.
He is very, very informational. We ask him a boatload of questions. I mean, Oh, he honestly probably gets annoyed with us. Many questions I ask, like, about this protein bar, how much protein is in this one? How much is this? What should we be eating? I mean, how many hours of sleep should we be getting? Like, we just
Yeah,
load him with questions, and he takes the time out of his day. I mean, if we ask him a question, he's like, "Oh, I'm not sure." He'll research it and text us like right
yeah,
away. So to have all these people that take so much time out of their lives to make sure that we're doing the best that we can. I mean, you can't ask for something much better than that as a
yeah.
student athlete. Just the overall support here is just unmatched.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the facilities at the WEC. I mean, the strength and conditioning are
Oh my
just
God.
fabulous. I mean, I think that's another selling point. That right there in itself, also, in addition, of course, to the basketball court itself.
Yeah, I mean, Maddie and I were here my freshman year when the old Fleischer
Yeah,
gym was still up and running,
yeah,
barely. But to see the transition from that gym to this gym, I mean,
yeah,
we were as recruits shown the pictures of like what it's supposed to look like, but
yeah,
they just did an excellent job on the WEC. I remember in regards to strength and conditioning, we would be going from one room to the other in the basement, like carrying our weights and now everything's right there. We have these awesome technology things that tell us. I mean, I don't even know what it means. The red screen, I rack it. The green screen, I keep going. I mean,
yeah,
it's really crazy to see how far we've come,
yeah,
even from 2017 when Maddie and I came in.
it's true.
Um, from that even to like the training room.
Yeah.
We used to do ice baths in like Ace Hardware garbage cans, and now we have like the hot bath and the cold bath, and you can fit like 10 people in there. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely very grateful for the WEC and all it comes with.
Yeah, all the amenities. I mean, I'm sure the locker rooms you can see. I mean, are are probably first class,
So
compared to the old gym. Yeah.
even my one of my really good friends plays soccer at Monmouth,
Yeah.
and they played NJIT at home. And I talked to her after the game. And the first thing she said was, like, your guest locker rooms are the best guest locker rooms I've ever seen she's a fifth year too. She's like, in my
Yeah.
5 years of playing college soccer,
Yeah.
I hear that all the time.
That's great.
So it's really cool.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, and we don't forget balancing the role out as a student athlete. So I wanted to ask you, how, because now you're a graduate student. I know you were a business major, how that, is coming along, or just, what the latest status is, because, again, the demands at NJIT. I mean, they're up there. I mean, you said, to be able to maintain that status, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not easy at all, but time management and being organized and I'm sure you can speak to that very well, Ellyn.
Yeah, in my fifth year, I'd like to say that I've got a handle on time management a little bit. Definitely transitioned from my undergrad to the graduate program.
Yeah,
It's been great. They prepared me really well. My undergraduate professors. It's definitely different when working in like group projects and stuff. It's like, oh, I can't do this because I have a full-time job, and I'm like, oh, I have a game that day. Like, it's
yeah.
definitely different, a different feel, but it's been going really well. I'm in a similar program to Maddie, both on
Okay.
an online program, which we're used to because of COVID. But
Yeah.
Maddie's a biomedical engineer, and she was in class like every other hour, and she's like, wow, this fifth year life is pretty cool. So being able to transition from the COVID year, having everything online, was definitely a good transition for us being in the online master's program. But it's definitely crazy to see the freshmen with their schedules and them trying to figure out their way. I
Yeah.
definitely remember those times, and I'm grateful for those times as well, looking back.
Yeah.
But it's
I'm sure
good
you
to
can pass down a lot of knowledge, experience
yeah.
to Reese and Trinity.
Yeah, they were definitely very knowledgeable in the time management.
Yeah. The final two questions I have, and it just popped into my head, is that putting on that NJIT Highlanders jersey,
Mhm.
what that represents. I mean, the fact that you're from New Jersey basketball, it's got to be special playing in your own state, in your own backyard practically. But what that represents to you and how special that's going to be, what, in less than 3 weeks there on Tuesday, November 9th against Wagner, putting on that jersey, going through that routine of, taking the court. Just talk about that, Ellyn.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Last year, putting on that jersey for the first game, obviously I didn't know that I was going to be back for another year. So now that I know that it's my fifth and final year, um, it's definitely going to mean a lot.
Yeah.
It means putting on that jersey and leaving everything out on the floor every single game, and that's usually the mindset that I try to have. Um, that's how I've tried to play every year, but this year it definitely has a lot more behind it.
Yeah.
And being from New Jersey and being able to play in New Jersey definitely means a lot. Having my family in the stands again will be great.
Yeah.
So it definitely means a lot, and I think it should mean a lot for everyone, even though we didn't have the season that we thought we would have last year.
Yeah.
That's definitely pushed us to get better and motivated us to put that jersey back on and do even better than we did last year. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be definitely emotional putting that jersey on every year this
Yeah.
year. So, but like last year, every game means a lot because you never know what's going to happen.
That's true. Well said. You've been playing basketball for a long time. I'm wondering, the growth of women's basketball. You've seen, I mean, college basketball, high school, even now WNBA. Wanted to get your perspective on that. How good that feels, to know that women's college basketball is on the map and is in that same, you're achieving, that pretty much that same, status, of course, as the men's game. I think it's such an important topic in question to ask. So I just wanted to get your opinion on that as well, Ellyn.
It definitely means a lot. I actually was working with a little girl who was 11 the other day, and I remember being that age and looking up to people in high school, like, wow, like I want to be like her one day.
Yeah.
So looking back to when I didn't even know how to use my left hand to now being a fifth year at a Division I program,
Yeah.
it definitely shows, at least me personally, how far someone can come, how far women can come in basketball, in this sport. And seeing that we're getting so much more recognition is definitely a great thing to see. And that is props to people like you who cover women's sports and do such a great job to get out our message and to see how we can progress just as well as the men on the
Yeah.
men's side. So it definitely means a lot. And like I said, that's definitely a credit to you and others who cover women's sports so
Thank
greatly.
you. That really appreciate those kind words. On means a lot. Okay, you have the last word here. I said I asked Lizzie and Kenneth this, as well as Head Coach Mike Lane, what your message is out there. We've seen NJIT athletics here. I mean, this with the America East, and covered the baseball team. The run they had, of course, not only in the America East tournament but the NCAA tournament. What your message is out there to local fans here in New Jersey, nationally. For this upcoming 2021-22 NJIT Highlanders women's basketball season.
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited. We're really motivated. Collectively as a unit, we have gotten so much better from that last UMass game that we talked about. So we're really excited for this upcoming year, and it's going to be a good one. So
sounds good. Can't thank you enough, Ellyn. Again, it's great to be back in touch with you. Looking forward to attending and covering, games in person this year, especially the home games. And again, wishing you, the rest of the team and the coaching staff all the best this season.
Thank you so much. We'll see you November 9th, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Sounds good.